my tat on my back. Let's put it on the low back. I'm gonna make you guys some rugby shorts that put LPG across the ass. Once you roll, I'm already ready to start us off with how linked Potts and I are. We're just linked. You can't fucking fake it. You can't fake the chemistry.
No.
Chop wood, carry water.
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
We love a Tuesday, but Potts,
Cord night.
I'm walking down the stairs. Before that, even I'm sitting there in the house today, like, bro, I need to make sure I pull some fire out of this closet for our episode tonight. And I grabbed one of my old reliables in 1998 San Diego Padres divisional. Growing up, I was only 2, but trust me, I was a Padre fan. And I see you with the LT shirt on, and I'm like, you can't fake it. Like, you can't fake the chemistry that me and my dog have. That I walk down to this lovely basement and we're in the same SD repping legends.
SD, man. I'm not even from SD, but I rep the Chargers any chance I get. LT is one of my first favorite athletes of all time. The reason to this day I'm still a Chargers fan. Hopped on the bandwagon early and just put my seatbelt on. Dude, it's been a bumpy ride.
A sunny day.
The good thing I have that seatbelt on. Being a Chargers fan is a bumpy ride.
Hey, this man got in early and double strapped, like had it in. He was ready.
Every time we hit turbulence, I'm like, it'll get better, right? I'm looking at the passengers like, it gets better. We start winning eventually.
I mean, but a sunny day in San Diego, watching LT rush for like 2 hundo and 2 TDs. Can't
stiff arming dudes' helmets off.
Can't be mad about it.
Oh man, that was so fun to watch. Okay, I have a question though.
What's up?
Like, you say strap your seatbelts on, multiple seatbelts, plural. I'm a Titans fan, and it's
I grew
rough.
up as a young Titans fan, brother.
It's rough.
Eddie George.
Dude, it's rough. But there's pros and there's cons. One of the pros being a Titans fan, nobody ever talks shit. Because what are they like? We're non-threatening. We suck.
Hey, you never find yourself in the middle of debates.
No,
We're gritty though.
You had
gritty.
You had a run where you had Vrabel and Henry, so you were feeling good.
Oh
so.
yeah, and that was a lot of fun. Beat Tom Brady. I mean, in the playoffs, it was great. There were some good times, but that's the other part. The other part of it that's good is I'm never let down because there's never expectation, which is a good place to be. I can flip on the game and they're probably going to lose. Holy shit, they won. Good day. They lose? All right, well, it was just another loss, which shout out to Stephen Babagian because he's the one that taught me that. He chose the Browns.
Ooh, that's tough.
Okay,
That's
so
tough.
here's my question. Do I ever get one free pass since the only reason I became a Titans fan was because on my computer, the Titans logo just happened to be on there, and I liked them. And then Marcus Mariota got drafted there, so that's just how I became a fan.
Dope colors.
Cool colors.
The logo alone is pretty dope.
Very cool.
I mean,
very cool. But do I get one free pass? Because I'm kind of tired of it. I want to get into that aggressive, arguing, passionate. None of the Titans fans are passionate.
whoa, hey.
I think it sounds like an opportunity.
I think you're attacking a fan base that is actually pretty passionate about it.
No, they're very passionate.
You been down there on a game day?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're rowdy about the Tennessee Titans.
Oh yeah. My uncle has gone to a few games, and they are definitely rowdy, but it's mostly just rowdy. It's not like they're winning a lot of games and things.
True.
They're do I get one free pass? And I don't know if I'll ever use it. I just want to know if I ever get a free pass.
That's also part. I'm gonna say no, but that's also part of the passion that fans have about their teams. Is a lot of times you don't know why you like the team.
Exactly.
True.
It's almost like I don't even remember the day I became a fan, but these are my guys.
I'm locked in.
Fuck you if you got something bad to say.
I'm so glad that you said that because when I've been going back and forth about it. Do I just silently choose a new team or do I stick it out? And somebody in 2019, 2020, around that COVID time said, the little Twitter thing, the little X thing, hey, post your team before the season starts. And I have, it's down there. It's in the archives that I'm a Titans fan.
It's buried in there.
But like you said, that day will come where the Titans make a big run or they win a Super Bowl. And that's what I want to be a part of. but I just wanted to chop it up and see what you guys thought.
I mean, I'm a tough subject on this conversation because I definitely do not really have an NFL team. I like watching good games, but I did grow up a Titans fan. I was an Eddie George guy when I was in like second, third grade. Both photos of my yearbook back to back was in an Eddie George jersey. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I jumped to like a Steelers fan because of Ben Roethlisberger, and I was
legit
I
era
was a
too.
quarterback on my flag football team. So I'm like, hey, like me and Ben, like
Look at that. It's 3 quarterbacks. 3 former quarterbacks.
Man,
Come on now.
no, me,
That's not common either.
Hey,
That's not common.
I'm watching Ben Roethlisberger highlights, like lining up to go play like St. Jude. But jumped to them, and then I kind of fell off.
Yeah.
I was Cam Newton's
Pittsburgh
fan.
kind of matches your. I could see you.
I think
a Pittsburgh
I think
fan.
looking now, I've kind of rounded back to kind of I'm a Tennessee Titans fan and a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I like watching them play. I love Mike Tomlin. Like the boys are rowdy. Both of those fan bases show up. They loved it. I mean, the Steelers would definitely win a bit more. I'm hoping they have some good seasons. But again, I just like watching good ball.
I mean, even though they didn't make the playoffs last year, they still have technically never had a losing season under Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's always above 500.
That blows my mind.
And winning Super Bowls is the standard for a great coach and everything, but to never, as a head coach, be
In the
under-
league.
in the AFC,
league.
in the AFC South or AFC North. I'm sorry, the AFC North, to have how many years has he been coach there now? Over a decade.
Yeah,
and
long time.
Nothing but plus 500.
Well, and he's had some very, very average teams.
No, he's had some very, very talented teams, and he's
some
also
very-
had some like obviously every dude in the NFL is a dog, but like
Yeah.
there's talent everywhere. And he kind of took some dudes that were just like that's why I think that's why I like Mike Tomlin so much is like he's a culture guy and he's a like this is how we run our program.
Right.
Right.
Head
Like,
coach for
and-
18 seasons. Never had a losing season.
That's what I mean. Like I think he knows how to rally the boys around. I think he coaches them hard and people buy into that. So no matter whether you have stars or you have just your guys that like have grinded out seasons and can play.
Unfortunately, he only has the one Super Bowl to
Yep.
show for it. But
With Hines
still,
Ward.
like the greatness of never having a losing season. How many coaches can like that is unreal.
And in like the highest level.
Yeah, and it's not like he's just like, like skating by. Like I feel like it's always crunch time at the end.
Yeah.
He's not like getting
no.
getting wins early in the season and then it's like all right, they kind of tape it off. It's like they need to win their last 4 games.
And whenever
And they find
usually
a
pull
way.
it out. Yeah.
whenever
Find a way.
it's kind of like one of those things like whenever he has the team, he runs into Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Peyton Manning.
Which is
but
what-
when he has teams that are supposed to be bad, they overachieve.
Yeah.
So it's like when I have the team, I'm just running into all-time greats.
Yes,
But
exactly.
when I have teams who are supposed to be picking in the top 10, I find a way to finish top 2 in the AFC North.
Absolutely.
Respect to Mike Tomlin.
Sticking in
out
the NFL move, Under Armour is the official glove and cleat sponsor. I think that like goes against like every moral code of mine of like if I'm rocking up in Nike shoes, like it's Nike everything else. If I want to wear a shirt and it's a sports shirt, it's got to have that Nike symbol on it. Like you down to the socks.
Hey, I was just gonna say, like, I can't wear, even if they're no-show socks, I can't wear like Nike shoes with no-show Adidas socks
Yeah.
because I know in my head
Yes.
it doesn't fit.
And the thing about this move also that's just so odd is that, like, I'm going to look it up real quick, but that the NFL is still under contract with Nike as their leader in sideline apparel and jerseys. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look up when that contract ends, but that's what makes it head-scratching to me. Is the NFL, like you're talking about, Steve, opposite logos on. They're purposely going out of their way to do that. That's
But
kind of odd.
it's like it seems like you're just like watching the NFL as a business, kind of almost get a little more greedy. Like be like we can slice this contract up. Like like we see some loopholes here. Like yeah, we're making bread here, but like maybe Under Armour will come bid on this and give us even more revenue
Well,
and like
exactly.
buy into
What
a
if-
different share. Like that's kind of like that's greedy. Like they are already a $1 billion industry, and they're like, hey, like. Let's go slice this up and put the boys out there.
Well,
in Nike and Adidas.
Nike is the exclusive uniform provider for the National Football League through the year 2038.
No,
That's such a
long-term contract.
long.
A position it has
Long-term.
held since 2012.
Yeah.
Wait, so in 2012 they signed that contract?
Well, I think they re-upped at some point. I think at first it was like a 5 or 10 year deal, and then they re-upped to 2038.
Gotcha. I think
They could have had some extensions in there.
yeah, and is that an overall apparel from?
It just says exclusive uniform provider.
I wonder if that is jersey, pants, socks, cleats, gloves, because clearly it can't be.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
I think they just established like it's like from a provider of that. It's
I'm
shirts and pants. And
I'm sure the NFL wouldn't put their foot in their mouth and go and make this deal with Under Armour. There has to be some
'cause I'm just-
messaging in that contract that defines what they mean by uniform provider.
Right,
Because you got players, because even let's say this Under Armour thing hasn't happened. When the NFL signs that deal with Nike, there's still athletes, like Patrick Mahomes is Adidas. I think Lamar Jackson
I think he's Under Armour.
is Under Armour, I believe. He might be Nike, but
No,
I
he's
believe he's
Nike.
Under Armour.
I think he's Nike.
But whoever, like
Whoever
there's-
it is.
X player is Under Armour, X player is Adidas, X player. I think New Balance is coming back with their football line, so they're going to start doing stuff again.
Even
like,
Jordan is considered in a different lane
yeah,
than
Devontae Adams
Nike.
is Jordan. I think Derek Carr was Jordan at a certain point. So there has to be language in there that says like jersey, pants, undergarments, and
In the little bit that I've dabbled in the licensing and apparel game, I'm willing to bet that there's predetermined like terms to an agreement of like you are now literally just making cleats and gloves, and that is not a part of what the NFL uniform or logo part is. Because I think we were talking about like think about when they do the My Cause cleats. And all those guys come out, like, technically, like, is that considered a part of their uniform? Because they have such high standards, and guys with wrong socks on or not pulled up high enough, like, get fined for that. So maybe it is, maybe we're as consumers like, oh, we always thought the cleats and the gloves were a part of uniform, but maybe they're not. Maybe it's an accessory.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where my mind went.
Yeah.
When we started talking about uniform, I'm like, well, guys get fined for all sorts of things. You know, is everything tied in together, or are they kind of compartmentalizing things? I think either way, I want Under Armour gloves. I think aren't the swaggiest,
I don't necessarily wear a lot of gloves, so it's tough for me to have an opinion
but
on
like I would like to see guys being able to do what they want with their jerseys. Obviously, keeping it very uniform and like having everybody look majority similar, like color wise. I think that's important just to keep like a standard and a brand image. But let the guys look fresh. Like let the guys look good. You know what I mean?
Look good, feel good, play good. Baby.
Absolutely.
I hope that deep in the dark files of the Under Armour, creative room, that the Cam Newtons resurface.
Okay, so I just
They were the best. Like the
I had the
OG.
Cam Newtons.
What as an O lineman,
All white.
I had them. I loved them.
I hated them growing up. I'm sorry.
I only wore them because I was a quarterback trying to copy the Cam swag right after he came out of Auburn. The high socks, the same helmet with the visor, the Air XP with the visor with the quarterback face mask.
the towel.
I was like, I gotta get.
Yeah.
I would come out in warm-ups with my jersey
Yeah.
way up.
Oh, wow.
With the like
Hey,
with the quarterback
Swaggy.
padding.
He was him.
I'll show you a picture.
Hey,
when
and
we record it.
Monrovia was green, huh?
Yes.
White and green, Kelly
Ooh,
green.
hey, I know that them all
We had
white.
white helmets. Ooh,
Yes.
all icy
With the
white.
little
icy. He's looking. Hey, I know he was buff too.
He was.
I just looked
Come
up some
on.
of the details on this, and it says National Football League announced today a long-term partnership under which Under Armour will become an official footwear and glove partner of the NFL. So I think that's huge. It doesn't say the, it says and. So I think this is maybe
Language does matter.
maybe Under Armour just didn't have a licensing deal to where their logos could be visible on NFL Sunday. So I think maybe that's just what it is. I think guys are still wear their Nike gloves and their Nike cleats and stuff.
This is
But
what I
not-
love
but,
about
like,
you.
Under Armour guys like Justin Jefferson, who's one of the biggest stars of your league. If you're Under Armour and my biggest star can't wear my cleats in the game, or he can, but we have to black him out, or we have to match the colorway with the overlay of the shoe, then That's a problem for us.
Does this?
We need to see kids seeing Justin Jefferson
Yes.
wearing Adidas.
So does this?
That's our marketing ploy.
So I think this is a move by Under Armour
Yes.
just to get their logos back on the field.
Does this push Under Armour now to create more instead of just like I feel like Under Armour gloves have looked the same forever.
I
Does
definitely-
this push them to
but also
on
remember,
a color
like,
wave like go in.
There was a certain time with like all the brands in the NFL, unless they struck an official what's the word I use
Licensing?
non-exclusive licensing agreement, then I could wear my Nike gloves, but my equipment manager has to put the NFL shield over the swoosh or over the Adidas three stripes, or like we saw Adidas gloves and we knew they were Adidas gloves. 'Cause
Right.
we were football junkies, but it had an NFL
Logo on top.
shield on it, and now you don't see that as much because of these non-exclusive agreements.
No, I like that you dug in on that because it actually opens my. I deal with that a bit.
And again, I haven't looked deeply.
But
We're
the language,
just, yeah.
the language just right there where it says it's a non-exclusive or exclusive.
And this is
that's a big
NFL.com,
deal,
so
right?
it's
Like
coming right from.
exclusivity in a market, you would say like for a long time Nike had the exclusivity within that. Now the door's opening to where we can have non-exclusive agreements where I think when we get to it, you're going to start seeing in Dick's Sporting Goods Under Armour NFL gloves where you weren't seeing that before, right? Just like you said, like for a long time I had to get my logos covered or I couldn't even have a deal or go do a picture. And also I think it opens the door to commercials within like ads where Justin Jefferson shows up in a purple jersey but not the Vikings jersey. But now he's got branded NFL gloves on that are Under Armour. It opens up their lane for them to have better commercials and better marketing. That's why they dropped that first video where he is in his jersey that looks like his jersey, but his gloves are now branded the right way.
I want to say that's what I think we're right on nail on the head right here.
This is what I love about you. Like you just got in there, dug your teeth into it. Now we get to actually, like we have our facts straight. I love that.
That's why I need to have, because now I'm curious, and now I'm just looking up like pictures of Justin Jefferson to see if I can spot an Under Armour logo.
Well, they just dropped. I think with the
his
release. With the
Like
release,
here, his gloves are all white.
Yeah.
These might be cutters. I don't know. Under Armour don't cease and desist me. Yeah, I mean,
Cutters.
in any of the pictures, I don't see a logo. He's just wearing an icy white glove or an all yellow or an all purple.
Yeah, I think
all black.
I think that logo can now appear on that glove in game. That's gonna be legit for him.
That'll be huge for that brand.
Yeah, Comstock. I know before you were
Especially because Nike's kind of bleeding right now, and everybody seems to be closing ground on the monopoly that Nike was running for a little bit. Adidas has been on their tail for a minute now, but Under Armour is finally getting themselves back in that race.
Yeah, and it does seem like I remember like when I was growing up, like Oregon and the Nike and
Everything,
the gear, the swag. It was kind of the first really big pop on the football scene of like Nike was like just took control of everything, and now that's kind of faded. Like I don't feel like I look at Oregon and I'm like, oh, they're the Nike school. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just like, oh, okay. There's other schools that are doing cool things, and I think they are kind of losing that that stronghold.
for sure. But before we sat down, you were talking a little bit about something over the weekend that you dabbled in as an experienced guy, and talk us through about the weekend that went on for us.
There was some good wrestling matches, and I don't know if you guys saw any of it. I know we kind of addressed one cool thing.
Definitely love watching the heavyweights go at it. I think that's one of the, obviously anyone at that level, any weight class, when you're at the championship, those dudes are electric.
Yeah.
Right. They're elite in what they do. They've gone through the battles.
Well,
I love watching the heavyweights.
The craziest thing is like these heavyweights when you get to the college, like in high school, it's usually just big guys pushing each other around.
A little bit.
There's
There's
like
like one dude that sticks out and he's kicking ass on everyone.
Yeah,
And, then the
and-
rest of them are like a dude that's like 285 and hasn't quite hit his like
That growth spurt.
growth spurt that gets him to start slim out and become like
Yeah.
more of a refined. They're just kind of a bit bigger, pudgier guys.
Once you're in college, though, these guys are like athletic, like
Nutrition,
Think
nutrition.
of like a edge D tackle that's like 270 but can move, and now put him on a wrestling mat, and he's just still freakishly athletic but really, really aggressive, and that's kind of what you're getting. So let me just give you guys a breakdown of Gable Stevenson, who is a very, very, very just successful wrestler in the United States. So he, Dan Hodge Trophy winner 2 times, 2021 and 2022, which is a big deal in the wrestling community. Multiple Big Ten championships.
And now, just real quick, is the Big Ten the conference in the wrestling world?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big Ten is
Usually,
a real deal.
usually drop some
Illinois,
dogs.
Iowa.
Penn
State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even Michigan. One of the kids that I grew up wrestling, his little brother's at Michigan right now. He's tearing it up. So yes, absolutely. Big Ten is a big deal. 2 NCAA national championships, 2021 and 2022 as well, and an Olympic gold medal in Tokyo in 2020, which is legit. And he had to battle.
I mean, world champion, world
champion.
champion is a feat in its own self.
I will say, too,
He's still wrestling in college, by the way.
Right.
high school. I know high school wrestling in the Central Valley is huge.
Yeah.
Right? Us all being Central Valley guys now from SoCal, but
Yes.
all 3 of us turned Central Valley from the SoCal. And I know that there's at least 5 or 6 kids in the tournament from the Central Valley, from Buchanan High School alone. And I know we're probably in the double digits in that tournament if we're talking about Central Valley representation, because all the schools around here that have amazing wrestlers. I apologize. I don't have any other names or anything to shout them out, but it was like, I just know from being on campus at Buchanan that there was a good amount of representation in that tournament.
I mean,
it's cool to see that
just
recognition.
when Fresno State had a program, like it's been off and on. Fresno State had a program, wrestling program, just due to Title IX and numbers. I mean, our good friend Josh Hokett, let's not forget about that. He is a Clovis High kid, and he is an All-American from Fresno State. So now, just think that's one guy that we know that that made it and did that.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure they hold the state championships here, or not necessarily in Fresno, but damn close.
Bakersfield.
The state championship is in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
But the Central Valley Masters
also
are
is ran
held
here.
at the Selland Arena.
Yeah.
It's
So
a big deal.
So the California State
Clovis High
tournament.
and Buchanan both host 2 huge invitational tournaments.
Yep, Doc B.
in the preseason, the Doc B and the Zinkin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Those are huge. You win Doc B and you get that cowboy hat. Got me feeling nicey. But so California has the largest high school wrestling tournament in the country, which is the California State Championship, and then the second largest wrestling tournament in the high school realm is the Southern Section Masters. So California definitely,
A lot of representation.
But talk to me about this guy that just wins a national championship, is a 4-year guy at the Naval Academy, transfers, goes to Oklahoma State, and just puts a show on.
Well, the match was crazy because it's 3-1 after the first period, and it's like, okay, here we go. Gable Stevenson, he's doing his thing again. After the second period, I think it was 3-2, but late with like 2 seconds left, there's a controversial. They had to review it.
Went for a single, ended up grabbing a double at the very late, which gives you plus,
and they're like in a
plus
little
3.
like high crotch situation. They're tangled up, don't know what's happening. They end up giving no points, and then the finish was just wild. And at the very end, it was pretty cool. They bring out the flag, and they're celebrating.
He's a sergeant. He's a graduate from the Naval Academy. Like, is a sergeant and will finish his wrestling career and do whatever and have to go serve in the military.
Very amazing. Very, very
prestigious.
Special moment too to take down
all-time
an
sports
Olympic
moment, I'm
champion, and then he salutes the president. It was really, really cool. Really, like, it gave me chills to
That's awesome.
kind of watch that. But then there was another thing. You guys all know Daniel Cormier.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with this.
So
I wanted to talk about, but we need to make sure you get his name right.
What? Lucas Bird.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Daniel.
I'm in the dark
so
on this one.
I'll
Break it down to me.
Lucas Bird wrestles for Illinois.
Yep.
And he's dating a girl who's on the volleyball team, and
At Illinois.
at Illinois. Daniel Cormier is like,
The dude is still wrestling. The match is still going on, and Daniel Cormier catches like wind that our wrestler at what 5 what
he's 5'5".
catches wind late in the match, like he's about to win. That this 5'5" wrestler in like the 120-pound range has a 6'3" girlfriend,
And then he's just like, he wins the match. He's like, look at him. He's like, look over there. Look at his girl. Look at his girl, Ellie. He's like, you can't even see her head. He's hugging her parents. You can't even see her head. She's so tall. And I'm just like, what is he going crazy?
He went on that for like 2 minutes straight,
Just
like
airing our boy out.
not airing him out, like low key, like, hey, small king, baby,
No, like,
small king.
I
Like,
feel like he was low key like, this guy's a dog. Like, not only is
He was trying to hype him,
Yes.
but didn't realize that like, dude, you're memeing this guy.
yes.
In
a little
real
bit of both.
time.
I feel like there's going to be the people that take it and they're like, oh my gosh, they're roasting him, which it was pretty funny. And he was throwing in little sidebars that were low key roasts.
A very unintentional roast.
I think so, because he was basically saying like, this dude's 5'5", a badass, just won a natty, and his girlfriend's 6'3", like, and he doesn't even give a shit. Like, he could care less. I thought it was it was hilarious. And I'm like, Daniel Cormier, what? Like, he would be the guy that does that. He would be he was a former wrestler himself.
of course.
And he's had some funny things happen to him too, because I mean, he would always cry after his fights and stuff. So it's like, there's no, he could get roasted too, but it's all good.
You have an NCAA championship?
I think he has,
I'll
I'm
look
pretty
it up.
sure he has
Yeah,
two.
One of us could.
No,
One or two.
He's an NCAA champion.
Yeah, I'm pretty
100%,
sure.
he's 100%.
I'm pretty sure.
I think because they always used to when
And he was an Olympic wrestler too, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, growing up, he might not be a NCAA champion, but he's pretty sure he's a gold medalist.
Yeah.
6-time U.S. World or Olympic team member, a world bronze medalist, a World Cup runner-up.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
Straight dog.
I
Straight
knew he
dog.
was an Olympic wrestler. I didn't think he won.
2003 Pan American Games gold medalist.
Okay.
Bronze in 2007.
That's a big deal.
Yep.
2-time Pan American champion in folk style wrestling.
Yep.
NCAA Division I national finalist
He lost.
with loss to eventual 4-time champion Cale Sanderson from
Gail
Iowa
Sanderson
State.
is a dog.
In the heavyweight class. The heavyweight class is like watching two grizzly bears. go at it.
2-time Big 12 conference runner-up
it's electric.
for Oklahoma State.
Damn. So he was just
So
he was just there, but never got it done.
That's man. And then you think about what he did in the UFC too. Like it's kind of been his story of his life to like kind of be.
Just-
He's always
He's been good enough, but
he's
never got
always
it done.
The other guy.
Yes.
Shout out to him though, Hall of Famer.
No,
amazing,
no,
amazing.
I
athlete.
wouldn't want
and he
to. I wouldn't
performed,
want him to
wrestler.
be rolling down here having a problem with what we just said. All right, like
Hey, and I don't think he would, because think
trying to
about
give him his flowers. He's a dog.
every time you get to that moment.
Unintentional roast.
Unintentional roast. Absolutely, because you think about it, every time he gets to that mountaintop and that peak, and it's like, there's no way that I'm going to fail again, and he fails, but he keeps going.
Oh no,
I think that
that is-
in itself is so respectable.
that is chop wood, carry water.
yes, that is
Next
a lunch
job.
pail guy.
That I
Yes,
said it better myself, Steve.
yes.
You know, thinking and talking through a little bit about, you know, tournaments and lovely watcher tournaments we have been in the midst of chaos of one of the best tournaments in the world. And round one, round two, some great games. Electric games. I'm really excited for the Sweet 16 coming up this weekend. I think there's some great matchups. You know, man, I was watching the UCSD Michigan game, and I felt like they had it.
Dude, that was such a good game.
I felt like they had it, and you know, the moment's big, and it just didn't come through for them. I did have them going a long way because, as a Cinderella would, I thought they was gonna, if they would have beat Michigan,
I think they would have been rolling.
I feel like their confidence would have been through the roof, but it does not have my bracket feeling nicey. All right, like
Yeah.
St. John's going out as early as they did, not feeling good about that.
I had them going to the finals and losing to Duke, so
Yeah, like
it's like I just lost so much opportunity there.
But on a blind round robin of my bracket, like the whole left side of it, all right. The right side, I'm feeling good about it. I'm liking the ton of green squares that I got on my online bracket that is showing like I'm doing all right for myself.
My My current take on my bracket performance so far is keep it simple, stupid.
I like that.
I was in the group chat with you guys talking about how Duke and Cooper Flag before the ankle injury it seems so far long ago now, but saying like, hey, I think obviously number one team, surprise, surprise, but I think they're the best team. I think Cooper Flag is a star, And then when it came down after Selection Sunday to pick a bracket, I put Duke all the way in the championship game and had them losing to a team that got bounced in the first round. So I overthought that 1,000,000%. I should have just stuck with my gut. But, Duke is looking great. They won their first game by 40. They won their second game by 30. They're going to have a tougher matchup this time around against Arizona, but they're still looking good. My team that I picked, Memphis, I picked them because they had who I thought was a stud at their starting guard. Little did I know he got hurt in his conference championship tournament. That just goes to show you, like so many other people this time of year, just try to hop into college basketball like I'm some expert.
Start making
Didn't do my due diligence.
Yes.
Just looked up, some of the top players in the country. Didn't do my due diligence of recent events to find that he was hurt. And their second option leading scorer was also hurt.
Oh, no.
And they still almost pulled that game out. I think those guys, if they would have pulled it out in that first round, I think those guys would have been back, and my pick would have been looking very nicey. But they just couldn't dodge the wrench in the first round, and
I'm not gonna
hurt my bracket because of it. But now I'm going back. I'm going back to Duke. Is that allowed out there?
What do they got? They got that.
Duke.
They got ESPN has that. Your bracket's busted. Do you want a second chance?
Do they have that? I need to log in on that.
Because I got that same notification.
Is it too
Comstock
late?
got that round one. Comstock got that. Comstock's 3 hours into March Madness. Your bracket's busted.
Oh,
Would you
dude.
like to restart?
I'll just say this. I was really excited, because I've said, I've told you guys multiple times, I'm not the biggest college basketball fan or like connoisseur. Like I do enjoy watching the games because I think there's a little more energy in the college games.
It's electric.
There's more energy and more pace than an NBA game. NBA game, it seems like guys are kind of moving the ball, taking open shots. These college guys they're grinding for every point, every possession.
Hitting the deck, diving out of bounds.
Yeah, they're laying it on
Their
the line.
benches into it.
Four guys are jumping for the same rebound.
Yes,
exactly.
Their whole bench is going crazy, throwing their jumpers
Waving
out,
their towels.
spraying water.
So don't get it twisted when I say I'm not I'm just not as invested as other people. But I was super pumped to make my bracket. I got in a bracket with the Bring the Juice guys and everybody that joined, but I also got in a bracket at work. And
Did you go same?
I did. I went same. Just
same bracket.
I went same bracket. I accidentally messed up on Creighton. I picked Creighton to beat Auburn on one and not on the other, but it wasn't. It was just a mix up. Wasn't really a big deal. But right now, outside of Memphis and St. John's, I have everybody slotted and ready to go. I still have live picks that I can win, but I started out 7-0, and I was like, in the first 7 games, I was 7-0, and I'm sitting at work, and we got it on, and I'm like, oh boy. I was like, dude, I might have did something here.
Got me feeling nice.
Oh man, dude, I was feeling so good, and like my picks that were risky upset picks, they hit early, and I was like, oh baby, like I picked the bracket. Like
March Madness has got you feeling good.
oh,
No, you were fired up.
I was like, I might be the one this year. Little did I know I was going to lose like 8 straight after that.
Comstock's 7-0 going, I'm putting this bracket up in the conference room. Like, they are going to have to look at this winner for the rest of the year. Like, and my name's on it.
Talk so much.
Hey,
So much.
Literally, that's what I'm thinking. And after the what is it, round of 32? I get a text from my boss. I hadn't looked at the bracket since then. I'm dead last.
Oh,
I'm dead last.
you flew too close to the sun.
Talk about the rise and fall just
Ouch.
fast. He was at the top for a second.
Oh, I was at the very top. I had like the most projected points, and yeah, now it's not looking too hot.
Well,
but
that's where we're at now, right? Let's look ahead at Sweet 16 matchups.
Yeah, well, one thing I want to say, like before we even get into the matchups, is, I mean, we have a 10 seed that made it to the Sweet 16, and that's the highest seed remaining, or the lowest seed remaining. I guess lowest is how you say that. But that's a SEC team, which we know SEC was top to bottom the better conference in college basketball, and they're coached by John Calipari. So I don't necessarily qualify them as a Cinderella. No Cinderellas in the Sweet 16. I could look it up. I don't know when's the last time that happened, but you can take this conversation so many different ways. Is it NIL, the transfer portal? Is that hurting the mid-major schools, the group of 5 schools? Does Cinderellas making it deep into the tourney help the popularity of the tournament, or does more top teams making it to the Sweet 16 help the popularity?
There's definitely two ways. I think either or. Sweet Cinderella in there, I think you get viewers that are like,
you don't want a bunch.
I'm dialed, right?
You don't want a bunch, but you want an America's sweetheart, an America's team.
Because that pulls on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
But I think you can look at it and go, well, we're at the Sweet 16, and we have got some really good, talented teams. Yeah.
Well,
they're going to play. We're still
watch
this
some good
far.
basketball
Wow, we got good basketball
teams.
ahead no matter what.
I think you're right. Like when you get the Sweet 16, or when you get the Cinderellas, like you get a group of people that like people from Fresno State that aren't watching anybody, or like you get these lower schools that are all rooting for the Cinderella. So now you get a whole bunch of viewership, but at the same time, when you don't have that and you have a bunch of big top end schools, they have such a fan base that I think it's pretty equal. It just depends on who's watching.
I also think it creates a very good media narrative for it. Like it gives people that loves reading a headline about a smaller school that has, like, think about so many March Madnesses. There was a school a couple years ago that had a nun that was in a wheelchair that's coming out to all their games. Like, think about how long
that was like the red, like the maroon and yellow school.
Yeah, I think it was VC.
I remember that.
Whatever. Yeah. But like,
forget the name.
Think about how long that stayed in the media, and people are just like, content on content on content. Like, we're in the content game. We know how that helps it. Like, I think that having a Cinderella helps with that for sure.
How about
real quick, and I'll let you go. But like we were talking about, I think the casual fan that watches the NCAA tournament, and let's face it, majority of the viewership,
we're casual
NCAA
fans.
Tournament is probably casual fandom like us. Yes. How many people are diehard college basketball? A lot. No disrespect to anybody who is, but so much popularity of the tournament is from the casual fan, and I think the casual fan is bought in longer to the tournament if there is a Cinderella. Like I think if we had nothing but 1, 2s, and 3s in the Sweet 16, the casual fan would be like, oh, okay, we knew this would happen. Let me change the channel now.
For sure.
But when there's a Cinderella and it's like, oh my God, I got to watch history being made.
And I still I know you made your point about Arkansas being a 10. Like, I still like that. I still like clicking the game on, and I hope I see like a 10 versus a 2, 10 versus a 3, right? Even maybe a 10 versus a 1. Like, that's still, I think that'll even still attract viewers, because now even the storyline says that, well, that's a 10 seed to a 1 seed, and in this big of a bracket, you're still telling me that there's maybe in that 10 to 12 teams better than me.
You're about to bring some up.
I was just when we were talking about Cinderellas, I was just, what kept running through my brain this whole time that you guys have been talking is Florida Gulf Coast, when they were when they were just slammed, they were just
they were like
alley-oops.
That was when the Clippers were also being called Lob City, and then this team
came
in. That had to be like 2015, 2014, something like that.
Yeah,
we could look it up. I'm not looking that one up. If I'm wrong, fuck you. But they were being called like the college basketball Lob City, because they were just throwing down dunks left and right.
And when we talk about like the Cinderella, the smaller schools, like, or actually any school in March Madness, like, their bench was going crazy.
Electric.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Electric. I think that's I think that's like why I love college sports, though, is like, you're always going to find that fan, that teammate, smaller teams, like, they're just so bought in, and like, there's just young energy in it, and you love to see it.
Which I feel like we have a story with
all about young energy
with
in college basketball. Your boy, I know you want to talk about him,
McNeese.
Oh, big dog.
Aura.
Hey, Aura King himself. He had the entire Spirit Squad wearing socks with his face on it. All right. But this guy is blowing up. Okay. I don't want to be quoted that he's the first, but he's one of the first.
Amir Khan.
Team
Aura
manager.
Khan.
Team
Amir
manager.
Aura Khan, team manager of the McNeese State men's basketball
My
team.
guy's hooping. Okay.
Yeah.
He is already in the 6-figure range of NIL deals. Okay. Quick. It happens overnight. It happened in 2 rounds. Let's put it that way. McNeese State got bounced within the round of 32. Like it happened like a freaking rocket takes off. Quick burn, no more fire.
And the crazy thing is, imagine if McNeese went on a run.
Oh no.
Like,
The
I think-
deals would have just kept flowing.
One more game.
Flowing.
Like if they would have won that second round game, he would have cleared $1 million easy.
Well, think about it. His big 3 essentially were Under Armour gave him or really a big 4. Under Armour gave him a custom jumper to rock out to in their colors. It was elite. Okay.
Big weekend for Under Armour.
Big weekend for Under
Weekend for
Hey, Under Armour's tapping in.
NFL,
They're tapping in.
Number 1 media darling in the March Madness.
Aura technically started the landslide. Maybe they were like, hey, he's giving us so much traction. We need to strike hot right now. Like,
Let's take our shot at the
we
NFL.
got to take our shot at the NFL right now.
We're feeling nicey.
We got a guy. We're feeling nicey. But he goes, obviously, they're the Under Armour pick. But then he goes, Buffalo Wild Wings, Tick Pick, and TurboTax. Okay. The Buffalo Wild Wings alone, he was the guy who was coming out with the speaker on before games, right?
Yes.
Okay. He started out with like a small jump box, like probably the size of like a 12-pack. Okay. As his sponsorship grew, he gets to Buffalo Wild Wings. Now he's got one like the size of his torso.
It had the lights on it.
Lights, got Buffalo Wild Wing on the
He's got
front.
it wrapped around his
He's
neck.
laying Kodak Black coming out.
Kodak.
You was talking about being strapped in as a Chargers fan, bro. He's got that speaker strapped in. He ain't going nowhere. Like Aura at its finest.
He's like, my favorite was the pictures of him like wearing the players' chains and watches and kind of like Kirk Cousins on the team flight.
Yes.
that one
Yes.
time. He's just wearing all these chains, and I'm just like, yo.
What I think
This
of
dude.
when I see all that stuff happening is like everybody that's ever been on a sports team, like you do funny things or you do things that you're like think are cool or you think
It's just your team.
It might be
culture.
half
It's
your
something you
culture,
guys
baby.
do.
Yeah,
Like,
and it might be half like, oh, this is cool, but it's also kind of a joke, but it's fun and it gets you
But it's
going.
us. It's
yeah,
us.
Yes.
and that's just what was going on, and it just
I loved it.
just turned into this perfect little
I
storm.
think it shows like the true culture building of how college athletics goes. It's like that guy's a part of the team. He has been there every day. He shows up when they show up. He cleans up after. Like he does his role to the finest that is crucial to the team's support. Has helped us get us here. And like I love that you're just seeing that buy-in.
yeah,
And like you're saying, like that's just a part of sports. Like I think,
Mm-hmm.
like we're not going to say his name, but we all know the guy at Fresno State who we love and works in our athletic department. Has been there
Yes.
for years, and guys who have been there 10 years before us know this guy because
Yes.
no matter what coaching staff, what AD,
a dog.
what that guy is there doing his job, pride and tradition.
absolutely, and he
of
gets the
Bulldog
people
football.
going.
But the thing that crazy, like the cherry on top for me is obviously there's a transfer portal on right now for college basketball. Right. The coaching portal is on all the time, and I'm watching all these coaches leave is insane.
Yeah, it was right after the game.
Right after the game, like bow, right? But the McNeese State head coach or McNeese coach accepts the NC State job, and allegedly, okay, we're still trying to figure the sources out, trying to make sure whether we're right on this or not. but
There's a lot of conflicting
Khan himself
sources.
comes out and says, I'm transferring to NC State because I want to stay with the coach that gave me this opportunity. And if that's not the funniest thing, like, hey, I got to go to my freaking academic counselor and figure out if my units are going to transfer to NC State so that I can go back and earn 6-figure NIL deals at NC. Hey, he's like, hey, think of how much money I can make now. Like, I'm on I'm look at my brand now.
Big school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get
No,
your bag.
It's like
Hey, good for him.
if your team manager is that loyal, you are a great coach. No, you must be a great coach. If you got your team manager transferring schools to stay with you,
Dialed up.
you're building a program.
And that also speaks to my man's blue collar work. He shows up and does his role, eats his role, and literally, coach is like, "Hey, we about to go build something."
He was definitely the viral sensation about a week or two ago, and kind of a little bit into this week, and kind of took over Twitter, X, Instagram, whatever. He's TikTok everywhere. But
Well,
since he was bounced out of the tournament, there's a new viral king this week on all the socials. I don't know
I
if you
just
got,
love how social pumps stuff out for you.
man. And every time something goes viral, there's another tweet that like people will buzz around, and it says like, dude, if you don't get on Twitter or X or whatever, and you miss something, you don't understand the
storyline
jokes being told for the next 2 weeks. Like, because there's the source of the meme that's going viral, but then like for the next week or two, there's jokes being made off that meme that
Yes.
don't even necessarily need the meme to live. Like the joke is just going with no rep, but people who got it.
Yes.
And if you missed it,
They're
you
just
missed
carried. It's almost like playing telephone. Like by the time it gets to the furthest person, the story's not the same, but the
no
joke's still funny.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's the worst part for me. I am not on X that much. Like I check it here and there, but like I'm always the guy that's like, what are you guys? What is that joke?
But yeah,
What the hell is that joke?
So getting
I wasn't tapped
into
in that week.
yeah,
getting
no.
into the viralness that I'm speaking of, did you? What time did you gentlemen wake up this morning?
6.
I think it was up at like 8ish. Well, really, my first go around was 5, and then I went back to sleep.
Yeah,
I let dogs out.
that feels good
I
though.
I
don't
let
know.
dogs out.
You guys must not. You guys must not.
What time did you get up?
You guys got to follow. You guys got to get on this new daily routine.
I wasn't dialed into the
what time
new-
did you
new
get up?
daily routine.
You got to get on this new daily routine. You got to be up at 3 in the morning.
Okay, this
gotta-
guy's-
you gotta-
3 in the
gotta-
morning to me is still the middle of the
gotta
night.
get a
okay?
big-
yeah.
You got to get a big bowl of ice water. Not just any ice water though. Get your ice. Get some nice ice cubes. But when you fill
He's
that
like,
thing up with
hey.
water, you need the blue glass Saratoga water.
Almost
need
the
to
blue
chop-
bottle that looks like Steve's hat.
Chop some
Like,
cucumbers.
yes, sir.
Chop some cucumbers
sir.
up, maybe bananas. Get some grapes. I don't know. Get whatever fruit you like. Whatever your favorite fruit is. Chop it up, throw it in the water, and you got to dunk your face in that thing.
I'm all on for the
And
cold
then
water
at about
exposure,
5
baby.
And then about 5 o'clock, you gotta hit the weight room. 5 o'clock. 5 a.m. Hit the weight room.
Okay.
5:30, you and your bodyguard, you hit the road in your G-Wagon.
Hell yeah.
Take your shirt off, go hit some sprints in the streets. With the G-Wagon right behind you. You got to outrun the G-Wagon.
And my dog's yoked.
Yeah.
Yoked.
Yeah,
3% body fat.
Yoked.
probably less than that. And then by the time you get home, it's probably 7:30. Now you can eat breakfast. So you've been up since 4. Now you're eating breakfast. I might be messing it up, but
He definitely throws some push-ups in there. Like
your day is over at 9 a.m. That's when you hop on some Zoom calls, do some
before you hit your Zoom call,
do some options trading on the stock market and stuff.
before he does that, he
That's when
gets
you make
slid.
money.
He gets slid another bowl of ice water.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
He
right
needs to-
after breakfast.
He needs to rip that right before that meeting, so he's just on.
So if you do the cucumbers at 5, you got to do bananas at 8:30.
I just want to know.
Vice versa.
Like my biggest thing, like
Then you got to drink some Saratoga water.
and then he jumps in a pool, right?
Oh yeah,
He's a big jump in the pool kind of guy.
yeah.
Honestly, the dude is working an 8-hour shift from freaking like 3 to 9. Like I know, I know that's not the right amount of hours, but he's
Wherever
cramming
he's
in
at,
8 hours
it
worth
is
of shit.
sunshine, beautiful skies at like 6:15 in the morning because that's when he's in the pool.
You can't hide money.
And it's beautiful.
You can't hide money. Did you see the little pull-out drawer that had all of them in there? Like you just can't hide that type.
Well, I just want to know if this guy can touch his own shoulder.
If I were to put a sticky note in between his shoulder blades,
He couldn't get it.
could he reach around and grab that?
Yeah, it would probably be.
Don't ask me if I could, but for him, I want to know.
I mean,
But I'm still like
he looks stiff.
I'm on his train of the cold water exposure.
I do like cold water.
I love me some cold water. That is healing. It is a practice of submission, but the putting it in the face in the bowl is because you have all of your cold receptors, most of them in your face.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought the theory there was you lose heat from your feet and your head the most. I thought that's why it was cold. I didn't know it was because
No, you have have all the nerves in your face. Put all that in there, but it's crazy stuff out here. But I
So
still
we're talking about Ashton Hall, who's going crazy on social
Yes.
media the past couple days for his morning routines and his physique and his workout regimen and everything. He's a former athlete. I actually saw his high school highlights going around on X, and he was a good player. He ended up going to Alcorn State and playing there. I'm not going to talk about his stats.
Were they good? Can you just say were they
you
good
maybe-
or were they mid or were they
I'm good.
I'll let you look
non-existent?
him up.
Okay.
Shout out to him though.
Does it matter?
Another college, college
just
football
interested.
brother, the brotherhood of college football. I respect his career. Just shout out to him for going viral, man. It's not easy to do.
Okay, so he has 9 million followers right now. Do we know how many he had like
No.
a few months ago?
I don't know.
He's
I'm
giving me
curious.
David Goggin vibes, though.
But do you see
who's gonna carry the boats?
Do you see him when he's like doing those sprints? And it's like the
I'm looking
ASMR.
at, I'm looking at one right now.
He's like,
No,
dude, and he's moving
Hitting it.
He's moving.
no. They got the mic like he's not even wearing a shirt. Somehow they got the mic on him close.
They got
I don't
that,
know how.
They got a mic on that huge chain that he got that looks
don't
like
know.
Pot's chain.
must be his chain big. His chain better than mine.
That chain's pimp though.
I'm gonna just go ahead and assume his chain
mean,
is a lot more expensive than mine. I don't know anything about his chain, but I know something about my chain, and I think his is more expensive. Not throwing myself in that race because I've seen him sprint also. 7 million followers in
Wow,
60 days.
that's unreal.
Whew. It's possible, fellas.
That is grind set.
Possible.
Did he pay for those? Who knows? Let's go look at his views.
His Instagram is just insane though.
He's yacked up, bro.
Yeah.
Guy's been training since forever.
Good for him, though, man. I just wanted to have some fun with that
Like,
topic.
I feel like we're glazing him a little bit now.
I will be waking
I still
up.
do think
I feel like we're hitting glaze mode. We need to.
I will be
No,
waking up at 4:30 tomorrow morning with a bowl of water and ice. I'll be using faucet water.
Yes.
though, and
Humble.
yeah,
Blue collar water.
my sprints probably won't be
Lunch
as
pail
fast.
guy water. Kirkland bottled water. You know.
when's the last time you've tried to sprint?
Don't ask me questions I don't know the answer to.
Because I don't know the last time I've like gone like a full speed
Yeah, like
sprint.
like I get some lifts in and this and
Yeah.
that, and do some little treadmill cardio
Yeah.
walks and shit. But sprint, it's been a minute.
I ain't turned these old boosters on in a while.
No, I don't think there's a need to.
Or get down on my bike.
When I'm coaching, I like to I've been coaching for like 4 years now. This year is the first time I actually started like, man, I'm gonna put my cleats on when I get out there. Just in case I gotta show a young buck something. Just in case I gotta get in there
E-step.
and show him
E-step.
what it looked like.
Gotta feel my fire.
I put them cleats on. I haven't done not a single drill. I'm just out there wearing the cleats. Thinking, other coaches
not
are
even-
like, oh, okay, Pod.
They're not even tied up. They're not even tied up.
Bro, they're not.
Hella loose.
You know exactly which ones they are. They're my 2015 Vapors.
Them Nike Johns was nasty.
Ooh,
back then.
those are clean.
But fellas,
not the carbon Vapors, the 2015
Talons?
ones.
no, they had all like the little stripes in
on
them.
them.
They're
Yep,
nice.
yep,
Yeah.
But before we round out tonight and carry on with our bad selves, I do want to look ahead at these 16 games or this Sweet 16 matchups.
Oh yeah, let's get back to that.
And I think we need to just, scratch your bracket from now on. All right, pick your teams. We're gonna round it off. No rebuttal. Why? I'm just gonna run down this list, and you got to give me your winner. All right. Auburn, Michigan.
Auburn. My guards aren't.
Duke, Arizona.
Duke.
Ole Miss, Michigan State. I like Ole Miss.
Michigan State.
Michigan State,
BYU, Alabama.
Alabama.
I'm going BYU, baby.
I think I'm going Alabama.
Houston, Purdue.
Houston. Houston's number 1, right? They're a 1 seed. Yeah. Houston.
Yeah, I'm going Houston.
Houston for sure. Kentucky, Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee. I already had Tennessee going a long way.
I'm going Tennessee.
Yep, Tennessee.
That's an SEC matchup.
It is.
Sweet 16. Wow.
Texas, you already have it. Have you said yours, baby?
Tennessee.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, Arkansas.
Arkansas. Give me John Calipari.
I like that same pick because of he's been in that moment. Knows how to coach a team that needs to win a big game like that.
The way that they played St. John's, and I watched that game at home, like pretty much by myself, and I was like, you know what, this team's hooping right now, so let's go Razorbacks.
I like that. And then last one, Florida, Maryland.
Gators. Give me the Gators. Florida, Maryland.
I'm gonna go Florida. Just keep it simple, stupid.
I like the Gators in that matchup as well. Man, fellas, it's a lovely Tuesday, and I've had a great time with you tonight. And always remember, Chop wood, carry water.
Let's go.
Chop wood, carry water.